Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a lightning rod of a topic. Could Donald Trump really run for a third presidential term? Alright, let's get into it. So President Trump has been stirring the pot again, suggesting that he might seek a third term in office. Now you might be thinking, wait, isn't that against the rules? Well, you're right. The 22nd Amendment, which was ratified in 1951, clearly states that a person can only be elected president twice. But Trump, being Trump, claims there are methods to get around this. First, let's talk about some congressional reactions. Representative Dan Goldman, a Democrat from New York, has introduced a resolution reaffirming the 22nd Amendment's applicability to Trump. On the flip side, Republican Representative Andy Ogles from Tennessee has proposed a constitutional amendment that would allow a third term if the previous two terms were non-consecutive. Yeah, that's a mouthful, but it shows just how divided Congress is on this issue. Now, onto the legal loopholes. One theory floating around is that Trump could become vice president and then assume the presidency if the sitting president were removed, resigned, or died. This idea isn't new. It was actually discussed as far back as 1960 with Eisenhower and more recently with Reagan, Clinton, and Obama. However, there's a snag, the 12th Amendment. It says that anyone ineligible for the presidency is also ineligible for the vice presidency. But there's a counter-argument that the Constitution's eligibility requirements, like age, citizenship, and residency, are the only ones that matter. Another wild scenario involves Trump switching places with Vice President Vance on the 2028 ticket, then Vance resigning after they win. Or, Trump could become VP after the election through congressional approval. It sounds like a plot twist from a political thriller, but these are actual theories being floated around. Some scholars are even suggesting that Trump might directly challenge the 22nd Amendment, banking on a lack of enforcement mechanisms. If this were to happen, it would likely end up in the Supreme Court. And with the court's current conservative majority, who knows how they'd rule? They could decide on the merits, or they might defer to other political actors like states or Congress. All of this could lead to serious instability in U.S. politics. We're already seeing heated debates about the strength of checks and balances on executive power, and a challenge to term limits would only add fuel to that fire. But let's not forget, there's still time for a new constitutional amendment to be passed before the 2028 election. This amendment could explicitly prevent a third Trump term, putting an end to all this speculation. So could Trump really run for a third term? The short answer is, it's complicated. But one thing's for sure, this is a story that's far from over. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more updates. Stay informed, stay engaged. See you in the next video.